For this. So good morning, everybody. My name is Danny Fitzgerald. I'm the Regional Director for the San Diego and Imperial Small Business Development Center Network. We are a business assistance provider. We provide no-cost assistance, including one-on-one services, which we did for about 24,000 hours worth last year, and also certainly provide plenty of different webinars and opportunities for people to learn about everything from access to capital and everything else small business related. So that's what this series is for, is certainly being able to learn more about the lending market and have a great panel. And but today we have a fantastic guest to be able to kick us off and welcome, because there's certainly been a lot happening at the state level, and we're very excited to have our Assembly Member Chris Ward, who of course was a past City Council member, and we got to know him very well when he was the chair of the Economic Development Committee at the City of San Diego. So happy to have you on this morning, Assembly Member.
Thank you, Danny, and good to be with you all this morning. Thank you to all the attendees and those watching elsewhere online to learn a little bit about how SBDC can help your businesses connect with capital. Of course, this is a partnership with the Governor's Office of the Business and Economic Development, or GoBiz, and the Small Business Administration. I know you have access to over 100 expert businesses to help our small businesses access PPP, the EIDL, the California relief grants that I'm going to talk a little bit about, and other disaster assistance programs. And of course, we're grateful that you're able to do this with no cost to small business owners. And your one-on-one business advising and workshops are really helpful. And I think that's why we're here this morning. We're going to talk a little bit about the California Relief Grant. The next round of applications will open up again on March 25th. We've had a few different rounds throughout the fall and early winter timeframe. But just a few weeks ago, we've had some exceptional times, obviously, we're all living through. This is not a normal start to a legislative session, but we have been very vigilant about making sure that we are getting some of our resources out to communities, business owners, Californians, low-income families that need the assistance now. And so one of those actions we took in mid-February was to release another $2 billion, which was a fourfold increase over the previous $500 million being distributed, for up to $25,000 in grant opportunities for small businesses affected by the pandemic. Another $50 million is currently out for applications right now towards nonprofit cultural institutions. So we are excited to be able to put in the chat a link that is sdivsbdc.org to be able to access a business advisor and a live and pre-recorded webinar to assist you in applying for any of these opportunities. I know that SBDC has been able to provide over 800 training events and nearly 24,000 hours of one-on-one business counseling to help all of our small businesses here in the region through this really exceptional time period. So I want to thank you as business owners for what you are doing for your employees, for your customers, for yourselves and your families. It's taking all of us together to get through this pandemic. And I know that things appear to be headed in the right direction. So if you can get that vaccine appointment, please do so. Encourage your neighbors to do so as well, because we're trying to make sure that as we safely reopen and as we provide all the necessities to get back to better senses of normalcies, that we're able to do so without causing yet another surge. None of us want to see that happen. So promote good guidance, make sure that, in our business environments that we are promoting that and we are reflecting that as well. And I know that we're going to get through this pandemic and be able to take off back towards a time of normalcy that we used to once enjoy. So with that, it's really an honor to be of service with you. My office is also available beyond the SBDC as well for any of these one-time or one-off kinds of needs. If you're having trouble accessing a state agency or just don't seem to be getting a response for some of the needs that you have for getting your applications or your interests approved, please feel free to reach out to me on my website and we'll be able to schedule some time to help you troubleshoot some of those efforts. Thank you for being morning's program, and I really look forward to the material and the education that we're affording here for our business owners this morning.
Thank you so very much, Assembly Member. We appreciate all the hard work, and absolutely, I mean, your staff I know is super helpful. We've had great experiences working with the legislative staff, and you have a great team you've assembled there, and we really are appreciative of the hard work that you and your team are putting in as well. All right, well, we will roll on into our panel. And so we have a great guest, a set of panelists here today. We have Larissa Urias from Accion of Southern California, Andrew Crone from MarbleBridge Capital. We have Pete Tirado from Pete Tirado from Banner Bank, if I remember right. Sorry, Pete, I might have blown that because I don't have my notes in front of me. And Gabe Igartua and Janelle from Chase. There's Pete from LendSpark. Got him in. Miriam from CDC Small Business Finance. So appreciate you all. So Pete Tirado, since I kind of chunked it with you, so we'll start with you and let you introduce yourself and your organization.
Yeah, my name is Peter Tirado. I'm the branch manager at the Carlsbad branch for Banner Bank. Banner Bank's been around. Can you hear me?
Yes.
So Banner Bank, I've been with them for about 4 years now. I've been in banking for 16 years. And just a little bit about our organization. We've been around for about 130 years. We're headquartered in Walla Walla, Washington. And really what kind of sets us apart in the banking is, we live in a time right now where having a relationship with your bank doesn't really exist anymore. It's all electronic means. So our focus is building real relationships with our clients by understanding who they are, their needs, and really tailoring relevant solutions to those needs. So Peter Tirado, Banner Bank.
Fantastic. And Larissa.
Hi, good morning, guys. I felt like I froze for a bit, but hey, my name is Larissa Urias. I work for Accion. I am the business development officer for the areas of Imperial Valley and also Coachella Valley. So I'm here. We also serve San Diego and the Inland Empire, and I'm here to represent for the area of San Diego. And I'm very happy to be here, guys. Thank you.
Awesome. And Andrew.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. My name's Andrew Crone. I'm Senior VP with MarbleBridge Funding Group. We are a direct lender. We are a commercial finance company located in Northern California, but we've been working with small business, funding them for over 23 years. I've been here 20. I'm an expert in what I do, and we do receivable finance, purchase order finance. We work with companies that are startup to 50 million a year in revenue and can provide you with up to $5 million receivable finance.
Good morning.
Fantastic. And Gabe.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Gabriel. I am the branch manager for Homestead Bank here in Crone Mesa. I've been here for about 2 years and I have about 20 years in the banking industry. Homestead Bank, we are headquartered in Seattle, but we've been in San Diego about 5 years now. So we started as a retail bank, but now we're specializing in commercial and business banking. And thank you so much for having me here.
Fantastic. And what about you, Janelle?
Hi, I'm Janelle Shalou. I'm a business relationship manager here at Chase Bank. We are a traditional business banking. We're the largest bank in the United States at the current moment. So we have loans starting at $10,000. We can go up to however much your business can qualify for. We're really passionate about helping our business clients right now. We've been focused solely on PPP loans, trying to get the funds out to our business banking clients.
Awesome. And Pete, LendSpark Pete.
Hey, first off, thanks for having us. My name is Pete Deegan. I'm with LendSpark. Our office is here in Carlsbad in the Brescia Branch area, but we do serve all of California, all 50 states actually. Quite simply, we help small and medium-sized businesses get equipment financing and working capital solutions when maybe they're not the best fit for their bank or the relationship with their bank isn't in the best situation, or maybe even just to fill some gaps. And, ultimately we want to get you back into the hands of someone like Janelle or so forth, maybe even Pete at Banner Bank. But we're just kind of there to help when things maybe aren't at the best time for your business.
Fantastic. And Medium.
So my name is Miriam, and I'm with CDC Small Business Finance, and we are a nonprofit lender. We've been around for 40 plus years, and we are mission oriented. So our mission is to be able to help small business owners that are not able yet to get traditional lending. So that can mean that they're just a startup business, or they're in the startup phase. It can mean that they don't cash flow quite enough, or their credit score isn't quite what a traditional bank is looking for. So yeah, we hope that they eventually will graduate to somebody like Janelle at Chase. But until they get to that spot, our goal is to help them get their business started. And of course, through COVID, we have some relief program loans, and we're doing the PPP loan as well.
Fantastic. So a couple of you did touch a little bit on your lending products, and including some of the COVID relief that you're working on. And so that's really kind of my next one, kind of a deeper level introduction to the types of businesses that you serve, the types of loans you do. Do you serve startups, or is there a particular industry that works really well for you in your organization? So why don't we go ahead and start with you, Gabe?
Good morning again. So Homestead Bank, we don't work in the loan part with startups, but we do partner up with other loan providers that can help people that come in, clients or prospects that I get to meet. They need help, start up a loan. We do offer a up to $100,000 FICO score only loan that helps. As long as a business has been in business for at least a year. So I don't know if that's considered a startup loan, but I know it's been a great product that I offer people that sometimes, they don't have the last 2 years financial. So, and they have really good credit, and they just, want some capital to either expand or hire new employees. So that's a great resource that we do have in order to help our smaller businesses or sole props or somebody that's starting and needs something smaller.
Fantastic. And what about you, Larissa?
Yes, well, here at Accion, we do serve startup businesses and also businesses that have been in business and are looking for capital to grow. Our loans do go from $500 up to $100,000, and the rates fluctuate between 6.99 to 18.99%. But we have some amazing deals for the COVID relief. We're currently doing a COVID relief loan. This loan is funded just by Wells Fargo, and this loan can go up to $35,000 with the rate of a 2.99%, guys, 2.99%, that's awesome. And the first 6 months of no payment. So we're pretty proud about that product that we have going on right now. And we are also doing the California relief loans. These are not grants, these are loans funded by the government. These loans go as low as $5,500 up to $50,000. For this one, the rate does go a little bit more, it goes up to 4.99%, 4.25%. And for that one, you do have to make the first 12 months, they must be interest payment only. So if anyone's interested, I should be putting my information in the chat, and then we can talk and see how you can be eligible for that loan. And the minimum FICO score is 500. So 500, and if you have any challenges in the past and you have any collections, we can go ahead and forgive up to $10,000, not counting student loans and also medical bills.
Awesome, Larissa. Thank you very much. Pete Tirado.
Yeah, so as far as Banner, what we can do, so we can assist pretty much with a wide spectrum of credit facilities. So whether you're looking for short-term capital, whether it's just a quick infusion of cash, maybe you're trying to add on staff, maybe you're trying to whatever that really need is, we can get you lines of credits to be able to assist with that up to $500,000. Long-term needs, if you're looking to maybe do capital expenditures and equipment, we can lend term loans up to $1 million. We also assist with it's a little bit different from what people are looking for, I guess, here, but we can assist with commercial real estate as well as business equity type of line of credits. We also do assist startup companies. We have a SBA relationship manager here at Banner Bank. So, for clients that, haven't even started the business, we can also assist them as well to provide them some startup capital to get the business up and running. We also have assisted and currently assisting with the PPP as well. We've been in both waves of that. Let me see. Those are, as far as minimum credit score, there isn't really a per se credit score. I guess the credit it just depends on what the reasoning is for the lower credit. But yeah, we definitely take a not too big of a conservative approach when we look at our underwriting as well. It's not just a black and white. We do our best to work with our underwriters to be able to paint a story and help them understand, what's the purpose of the funds? What are these funds going to do for our client? And a lot of times, we can overcome a lot of the objections that we have with our underwriters by just, sharing the story and helping them understand. So, yeah, that's what we can do.
Fantastic. And what about you, Miriam?
So as I had mentioned before, we do startup loans. About half of our portfolio are startup loans. So that can mean that we're helping from just inception. So somebody says, I have a business plan and I have projections. We can help you from there, or you're 6 months, a year in, maybe you're in year 2, but you're very much still in the startup phase. We can help you with that. We can also help you, of course, if you have an existing business, or if you are interested in purchasing a franchise, or just another, acquiring a business that's already established. Our loans go from $10,000 to $250,000. We have some SBA products, and we have what's called some CDFI products. So our CDFI products are very close to our mission. And so if you are a small business owner and your business is located in a low or moderate income area, or you are African American or Hispanic, but let's say you do not qualify for the SBA product, we will try to make, the exceptions that we can. Of course, as long as it makes sense and you can, pay for the debt that you're requesting, then we will make extra exceptions to hopefully get you qualified and get you the access to capital that you're looking for. As far as in what we're doing, for relief with COVID, we have a couple different products. So we are also participating with the California Relief program, and our loans are actually kind of picks up where Accion left off. So they go up to 50, and so we're doing 51,000 per se to 100,000 is our bucket, and we're doing a lot of those loans, and I believe the rate is like in the 3.75%, something of that sort for that product. And then we also have our own product. It's also called it's not called the California, just the relief program COVID loan. And that loan goes up to 50,000, starts at 10,000, and that's a 5% fixed for 5 years. And then of course we're doing a lot of PPP loans. If you have a small business loan with us, then we are going to help you with your PPP loan. If you do not have a loan with us, we're partnering with Opportunity Fund, and I'd be happy to provide you with a special link for that to apply with them. There's still time to do that. And yeah, so those are our PPP, our COVID relief programs and PPP loans that we're doing at the moment. And our interest rates start at 5%, and then the highest interest rate is 9.25%. And that all depends on your credit score, of course. Fantastic. So I think that fills everything that you asked, Danny.
It did. I asked a big question. So, so certainly, but I wanted to be able to kind of get the scope of everybody's lending here. So we'll move to Pete Deegan.
All right. So most of our loans are between 50 and 250,000, although we do go to $1 million. Most fall in that bucket. The equipment loan product is fairly traditional loan. We pay the vendor directly. Think about, buying a dump truck or a bulldozer, although we do, medical equipment, restaurant stuff. I mean, you name it. And that program requires 2 years in business, about a 600 FICO score, fairly simple. The working capital solution stuff we have, we actually can get very creative. Sometimes we use collateral such as real estate that's owned outright or a rental property. We've secured equipment before, like trucks or construction and so forth. We do unsecured loans that are strictly based off cash flow. All of them have different kinds of rates, term lengths, depending on how creative we can get. Because we are a private lender, we have some flexibility where I can get on the phone with an underwriter or look at them even face to face in some circumstances. And kind of like I think he elaborated before, there's story to it. There's a little bit more that we can do maybe than some other more traditional lenders. The working capital program typically is going to be 550 FICO, maybe a 500 with really good cash flow and about 1 year in business. Obviously, if we're using real estate, that comes into play and equity and all that good stuff with the property. But yeah, we just to boil it down, we're a little bit more flexible and like to get creative.
Fantastic. And Janelle, you touched on a little bit of it with your introduction, but expand a little bit more. I know you all have been doing a lot of PPP and moving back into some of your other lending.
Right. Right now, due to the PPP loan, Chase has suspended all the small lending until the end of the month. We want to make sure that we get all of our small business clients taken care of. We get them the PPP loans. We do a wide variety of loans as very similar, but we do, being a traditional bank, we do have a smaller box that we work with. So credit is a consideration. We don't necessarily, we've kind of started shying away from startups just because of the economy right now. If it's an expansion, we'll look at it. I do, partner with a lot of the people on the panel. So if I'm not able to do it, I can refer out. But we do have a smaller box. Our lines of credit start at $10,000. We can do up to $500,000 per line of credit. We do term loans, we do equipment loans, we do real estate loans. We're actually doing a lot of real estate loans. So the bigger loans, we're able to work with on the real estate side with the interest rate so low. A lot of our clients, instead of renting the property they're in, are deciding to purchase. So we do a wide array of loans, but we do have different requirements. We would be asking for 1 year of tax returns for less than 100,000. Anything over 100,000 would be looking for 2 years of tax returns. Again, the FICO score, we usually like to see 680 and above. Any delinquencies would need to have a really good story. Bankruptcy, foreclosure, short sale. As long as we're able to really justify it. As others have mentioned, we deal with underwriters, and the underwriters are looking at pieces of paper. So my role is to really get in and find out, what you're doing, what you did yesterday, what you're doing today, and what you're going to be doing tomorrow. So I can, again, paint the picture. Really let the underwriter understand what you're doing and what you plan to do to get you the funds that you need. So we're going to be opening everything back up full force after March 31st. So what we're doing is collecting documents, getting everybody ready so that when we're able to start submitting applications, we have the best packages ready.
Fantastic. And Mr. Andrew.
Okay, thank you. So as I stated earlier, we are a direct lender. We are funding receivables and purchase orders and contracts. As the shots are getting out there, the vaccine's getting out there, this year has been amazing compared to last year where a lot of things froze up. I've been underwriting, and I do the underwriting as well here. I've been underwriting since January every day, nonstop. We are seeing a lot of new businesses coming in play. A lot of them are COVID related. I got one right now I'm working on that did about $1 million last year and may go to $8 million a month within the month. And they've come on board with us because unlike my other partners that are on the screen today, we can fund anyone multi-millions of dollars. So we can take startups and go very big. And so we're doing receivables. So the business that I'm looking for, and whether they're architects, contractors, all types of different models and businesses, B2B, you're doing business with another business, or in this time, we're seeing a lot of people coming to us have government contracts in the state of California. And so you have receivables and you're waiting to collect on the receivables, and we're speeding up that process. Instead of waiting 30, 60, 90 days to get paid, which a lot of people are experiencing in this marketplace, we're able to fund early. And then we're getting clients who also need more money beyond that. They have purchase orders. Some are trying to get PPE going for hospitals, for state agencies, and they're seeing very large orders, and we're involved with that. As far as underwriting the deal and bringing it in, we probably have the lowest requirements, you know, on the page here. I can do people who've had past bankruptcies. I could do people who have judgments on their books right now. I could do people who maybe even have some tax issues, depending on what they got. Credit score isn't what we use. We do gather it, but it isn't the main decider. We could look at businesses who lost money last year, still fund them. The key is that you are going to be growing your business, and you have potential and unlimited potential to grow it. And we can grow as fast as you can grow. And one more thought, within this range, within the partners on this page, we are working with banks that have SBA deals, so the clients need even more money. And we're working out agreements with them. We can work with the CDCs. We could work with Opportunity Fund was brought up. We're bringing a deal to them. So we're working with lots of different lenders and trying to find ways to get the client even more money than one of us can provide. And I've been doing this 20 years. And if you want to contact me, I will tell you how to do it. Thank you.
Fantastic. So you can see that there really is a wealth of expertise, but also I wanted to ask kind of that broad-based question, because what I want people to understand is there's a wide spectrum of lending that's out there, and so many different types of lending. And it's important for you to be able to kind of understand that scope and where your position is and where you're at in the life cycle of your business. Are you just starting? Are you kind of early phase? Are you having to, you know, are you going, hey, wait a minute, renting wasn't the best idea. It's time to purchase a building. Oh, wait, I got this new contract. How am I supposed to fulfill on it with working capital? Oh, you know, I need to buy this new piece of equipment, and all of these different types of things, depending on even your credit profile, et cetera. That's what where we come into play, certainly at the SBDC, is to kind of help you look at where you are at, be able to help you prepare. That's what the one-on-one business advising is for. We also talked a little bit about certainly the COVID capital. I did drop in the page right at the start when the assembly member was talking about with California Relief Grant. And we also have our page as well, which I'll drop in on federal stimulus, about getting you some quick help on your PPP. Make sure you have your documents lined up. Certainly it's very beneficial now, especially for the new rules for sole proprietors and Schedule C filers. But you didn't come here to have me be a talking head. So we'll move on, because I actually want to ask kind of a more fun question kind of here in the middle. And that's to get everybody thinking. So start thinking about a fun success story or of a client that you've helped in the last 12 months with COVID, and something that's, you know, that you've really done that's exciting, or kind of gives a good example of what people can do in terms of getting creative. So why don't we start with you this time, Larissa?
Wow, I have so many. We help people everywhere, but like I said, I'm from the Imperial Valley, and I know a lot of businesses did suffer, but a lot of businesses did really good. And for this one here, I am going to talk about the name of the restaurant. Probably you've heard it before, Daniel, is Nana's Kitchen. She is my client. She started pretty much inside a market with no sitting area, and everything was to go. Sales were super high, and she decided, like, you know, I need to open a place of my own now, and I want to have sitting. So what she did is she started renting a spot that used to be a dentist office, and she turned it into a restaurant. We were able to fund her. She did the whole kitchen, everything, and it became a restaurant. COVID hit, and she couldn't have people eat inside, but she was still offering the catering, everything to go. And she got a great offer that she would sell her breakfast tacos, breakfast burritos inside a gasoline station that's about 30 miles away from her restaurant. Guys, she's doing amazing, and we were able to fund her with the relief loan of the California Rebuilding Fund. That way she can get extra capital to have another employee, and also help her out with basically buying another car, because she needed now another car and more equipment to transfer the tacos to the gas station. which I am very proud of her. She actually got a Zoom interview with the governor not so long ago. So her business is booming. So if you think that your business is ready to go to the next step, I say you go for it. And that's my story.
No, that's a fantastic one. We've been, you know, we know Nana's Kitchen very well. Being there, it is good food, and we were happy to connect her with the governor's office. And if you want to find a woman from Imperial Valley really kind of telling the governor like it is, you can watch that video absolutely. So, what about you, Pete? Pete Deegan? What about a story for you? I know you've got some cool ones.
Yeah, I guess one of the most popular things over the last 3 months, I'd say, has just been getting cash into the hands of businesses that are waiting for maybe some SBA programs, other relief programs, or just other more traditional loans in general that just by nature take more time that maybe they don't have. So I've been doing a lot of that where it's like, hey, 50,000, 100,000, you know, real quick here and there. I can have the money in 3 months. You know, they tell us a story, you tell the underwriter, hey, here's their application, here's their approval for their SBA. They just need a little bit of a bridge loan. So we'll work on something for that. So that's been very popular. Conversely, the trucking industry, as far as equipment goes, we've seen a huge boom, as you can imagine, the demand for, you know, delivery in all different types, you know, long haul trucking, box trucks, you know, that do the last mile delivery, the Sprinter vans we're seeing. So that's taken off, and we're just really helping businesses grow there. While, you know, unfortunately, there are some sectors like restaurants, and I used to do a lot of food trucks that have really become really tough and a challenge to get approved. There's bright spots in other pockets and, you know, other industries. Like, for example, I have a company, it's in Northern California. It's not necessarily San Diego. They're a trucking company. They're young, about 4 or 5 years old, but ready to explode. And we're doing their 3rd trailer for them this month. So, I mean, they're ready to grow. They have the opportunity, and we're here to help. And, you know, we're also able to, another client of mine a couple months ago, just needed some cash. It wasn't necessarily like he had a loan coming in, but he needed more of a long-term solution. But we can do, you know, here's $40,000 if you have a dump truck or piece of construction equipment. It was a 5-year loan at mid-single-digit rates. When we have secured assets, that's another cool, I guess, non-traditional type loan we can do.
Fantastic. And sticking with the Pete theme, we'll go to Pete Torado.
Hey, so a couple of success stories, I guess, but one of them was in San Elijo over here. We had a new client who was a prospect at the time. I met him through, you know, one of my clients. We went out to lunch, and, you know, his business was struggling at the time. It was when the whole pandemic kind of started, and, you know, they had to close. You know, he was at the verge basically of the business closing out. We wasn't able to get any PPP funding through his bank, so we were able to, you know, assist him with the PPP, get him the funding to ensure that he can keep his doors open. You know, and that kind of started the relationship where he came over to Banner. At that point, you know, we started to meet and just kind of go over his business plan. He actually just took over that business maybe 6 months prior to us meeting, and kind of had no clue on, you know, how to be able to expand, to get financing, just to get his banking set up. So, you know, we sat over dinner and just kind of talked and, you know, went over his business, put together a plan, was able to get him financing as well. He wanted to add on staff as he started to kind of open up again. And so we were able to, you know, get him a line of credit to be able to help him, you know, bridge that gap while he got everyone onboarded. Also able to get him a term loan to be able to help him, you know, purchase some new equipment, expand his kitchen. So that was an awesome story, you know, for us, you know, because he wasn't exactly bankable. You know, his credit was so-so. You know, obviously he was taking on a new business, but again, going back to just telling the story, being able to show the profitability of the business before, you know, showing, you know, the strength of his personal net worth, explaining, you know, what some of the reasonings were, you know, due to the credit. And, you know, we were able to get a sympathetic ear, you know, from the underwriter for them to say, you know, we'll take a chance on the client. And, you know, ever since then, you know, that client's been a diehard client of ours and has referred us plenty of business. So, I always look at that and like, these guys would have gone out of business if, we weren't able to assist them. So that's just one of the stories that, I'm sure all of us can share in regards to, COVID and all that.
These stories are fantastic. I think that's what gives kind of, especially inspiration and hope for so many of, so many of the small businesses that are on the call. So why don't we go to you, Mr. Andrew? I know you've got a bunch too. You've told me a bunch of them.
Yeah, I've been buried. So let's think of the stories here. So we have a client out of state, because we work out of state as well, that has a small community bank. They picked up a $350,000 SBA loan less than 4 months ago, and they've already spent all the money. It's all deployed, and they can double and triple beyond that. So their success has been fantastic. They're in the logistics business. So like we were saying here, truckers need more trucks. There's just a lot of stuff moving on the ground in the US to catch up to a lot of what we call supply issues. They can't get stuff out of the ports. There's a lot of things going on. And so we worked with that bank and we got a subordination in play. And we're going to be funding the receivables now, which they have over 200,000. Probably will have over 400,000 to 500,000 in the coming months. So we're going to help this company explode in growth this year, turn them from a startup to probably a multi-million-dollar company. I've had several nursing registries now. I'm working on my third one right now. A lot of them are working right now with extra business having to do with COVID. And so giving shots, things of that nature, and getting large contracts. They can't handle the growth, and they've come to us, and we're helping them achieve that by funding their receivables so they can make payroll. I have another company I'm working with right now. We just signed yesterday. Within a week, it's going to go from $1 million I mentioned to 7 or 8 million. They're in the process of hiring, if you can imagine, 1,000 people. And it's an amazing opportunity the gentleman has. It's very hard to get your hands around it, but we're going to get it done, and we'll be funding a first payroll within a week and a half here. So he'll be able to make that happen. And since we've been talking, he's been emailing me all this morning because he has so many moving parts. So besides funding, we give a lot of good advice because we've been out there a long time. We know the different ways to get things done. We know the partners that are out there. So that's another example. We have a contractor in San Diego I've been working on over 1.5 years, had some real issues, had lost his bank line, went back to the banks, couldn't get it established at this stage, still too early. And he needs what you call spot funding to the $500,000. And we're signing him next week. And then he'll be set to take on larger contracts that right now he's avoiding because he's afraid of cash flow. So it goes on and on and on. All different types of businesses, startups, fast growing businesses, all different types of scenarios, businesses that already have idle loans and they need more money because the idle loans were, helpful, but not enough to get going and to the next level. And we're just doing all that. And the common denominator is these businesses all have invoices, they all have receivables, and they need to get the cash out of that quickly to reinvest it, to make payroll, pay suppliers, and just be able to take on larger contracts. And that final piece, and the text I got this morning from that client is growing rapidly, has a third party that wants to know he has a line of credit of some sort. And I'm going to write him a letter, and I can do that for any of my clients that says I can fund them up to $5 million a month, regardless of size. And so that's going to allow him to get a lot of suppliers and a lot of different partners on board with him so they know he has the funding to do what he's doing because it's so incredible. That's it.
Thanks, Andrew. I had to mute because my dog was barking. So Janelle, I know you've got some fun ones too.
Yes, I think the main thing that the Chase has been most proud of is, all the PPP loans that we've been able to do. In the first round, we were able to do over 300,000 in getting the funds back into our clients. One of the good things that has come from this is really getting to know my clients. I've been able to really understand their business, understand their needs, really work with them in walking through the PPP loan and helping them getting funding. I do have a success story from, it's actually a cookie shop, I guess, that decided to open recently in San Marcos. and they came over from Arizona. They opened, they did some financing. We're not doing lines of credit, but we have an amazing offer on our Chase Inc. credit card where it's 0% for the first year. The rewards points come out to almost 2,700 cash back if you spend 50,000 the first 6 months. He needed to buy some equipment for his bake shop. We were able to get him a really large limit on the credit card, get him purchasing, get him the rewards points, get him the 0% interest. He's actually expanded out of his, 2 months later, he's expanded out of his current location. He's looking for a larger location. I have a line of credit application ready to go to help him, keeping with the expansion. He's brought on new staff. So it's just really exciting to know that there are businesses that are working. I guess people need comfort food, right? Who doesn't need a cookie, right? But he's doing amazing, and I've been able to help him and work with him and get him to the point where, he's doing amazing, and it's been a great relationship. I think that's one of the things that I really enjoy too, is really getting to know my business clients, getting that relationship, understanding their business, and help them get to where they want to go.
That's fantastic. What about you, Gabe?
Morning. For me, going back to the product that I said at the $100,000 up to $100,000 line of credit or loan that is just FICO scored, no financials. That one actually I've been offering to most of my clients because 2020 was a little tough to most businesses, and I was able to I've already been able to book 2 of them, one for 80 and one for 50. So that's good news, one that we're lending, because last year, as most of you guys in the banking industry, we kind of hold off on lending. So that's good, especially if this is non-collateral. And both of them actually has been this year with that money, because one was November, the other one's December. I've been able to use it to expand and actually been doing really well this year. And they actually referred more people. So, if you guys know, you help somebody, then they'll refer you people. If you're never able to help them, then you're a bad person. But besides that, I think the biggest success story with the pandemic and last year and this year and the beginning of this year is and I can say most of my colleagues here that that work like Banner Bank and there were community regional banks that might have the time that the success I can say is being able to help people with their PPP loans. A lot of people hear about the PPP loans, but don't know how to even, access the application, process the application. They don't even know they qualify. It's incredible. Still to this day, I've been working with about 4 to 5 clients that didn't even know they could apply for the first PPP round. So I'm been going to their offices now that, with their permission, of course, mask on and everything, walking through the application, and they're very happy because those are funds, that they're helping them, in those tough times that they had through that they didn't know that they could access to. So I think that's the biggest success of that last year to this year, being able to have that time and educate people that you really did not even know. It's incredible how much very little knowledge is spread out about those funds. You see it in the news, you hear about it, but people think, it's just for the big businesses that can get those funds. So just helping those small businesses, even sole props that didn't even know they qualify for PPP funds. Actually working after this, I'm helping one of my clients get both loans because he thought it was March 31st was the deadline. But I don't know if you guys heard, I think they're going to extend it to May 31st. Yeah. So yeah, I can say that it's a big one for this pandemic.
Fantastic. No, I think that's great. Yeah, we're hoping the Senate follows suit with the House. The House did pretty much pass it, so hopefully the Senate takes that up today and extends through May 31st, because that deadline's coming fast, especially since that's a deadline for you, the banks, to get the approval from the SBA and not necessarily to get the application in. I think that's critical. So really, it's if that doesn't change, it's really kind of hard to get stuff passed after the end of this week. So, all right, Miriam, I'm sure you're still there and you have some good stories for us too from CDC. Oop, you're on mute.
I'm telling jokes and you can't hear them.
It's sorry.
I said, clearly you're saving the best for last. But yeah, so I have a client that actually had tried to go to two other lenders, another impact lender, and wasn't able to get any help just because his situation was a little bit, I guess, out of the box. And, CDC, one of the things I absolutely have loved since I started here is that our underwriting is very outside of the box. It's, I know I came from Chase, so I think my mouth was my jaw would just drop for like the first 3 months, and just how flexible we are and how, I guess, reasonable we are in a different way. Obviously there's a reason that big banks have the rules that they have, and they're good ones for a good reason. But we are smaller, so we're able to be a little bit more, a lot more flexible. So this client was not able to get approved at other banks because he actually had, in the beginning of the pandemic, he actually started his business, but he had already gotten some really great contracts. And what him and his wife do is they give all sorts of classes to children that are anything from artistic dancing to ballet, just a bunch of different classes in that kind of area. So when they started the business, they had already gotten contracts with some elementary schools to actually go on campus. I think they had done like maybe a few of classes. And then the pandemic hit, right? And the schools all closed, as we know, pretty quickly. And so they were kind of left at okay, what do we do kind of a thing. And, we don't want these contracts to be put on hold. So they, reached out to the school districts, and as everybody got to putting their schools online, they of course said, well, we're up for it. So they, went home and set up, a spare room and set up kind of a really nice area for each different type of dance that they show, and had their kids participate and teach. And they have been doing amazing, and we are going to be able to give them a loan. So it's just great how they just immediately went online. I mean, if you look at their, tax return, it's almost like pandemic what they started, and they just killed it, and they keep killing it, and they're just growing so much. Of course, they just completed their first tax return, so we got them into credit just with a profit and loss statement. But yeah, that's a great story of thinking outside of the box and making it work for your business, taking your business home instead of somewhere else, and still making it work. And of course, anybody, and me as a parent and any other parent can experience, we wear a lot of hats, right? We're not, if you're a business owner or you have a career, that's not the only hat that you wear. If you have little ones running around, it's been really hard to keep them in school and work from home. And so this has provided, just great relief for a lot of parents to get their kids, watching, the computer or TV and watching their online dance classes and having them get some of their wiggles out. So yeah, that's one of our great, one of my favorite success stories.
That's fantastic. And as you can see, so many different small businesses really are able to find success, find some opportunity. And what else I really want to show is really what it is you see the passion in every single one of our panelists, and truly caring for the small businesses. So really being able to help. I know that's what gets us up in the morning and gets us through, and really is that truly that shared passion. So as we come towards the end, I want to kind of do a quick round again. Again, I appreciate everybody for being on. Thanks to our sponsors for our Connecting with Capital series, which is Homestead Bank, Main Street Launch, CDC Small Business Finance, MarbleBridge Funding, LendSpark, and Primary Funding. So appreciate all of that, absolutely. So we're going to do a quick round the robin, and if you all can just give one tip for small businesses as we wrap up, as we come up on the 10 o'clock hour. And why don't we start with you, Pete Deegan?
I give the same one every time. It's the easiest one you can do. Just get online and make sure your online profile, it's your Google, your website, all that stuff. I want matching phone numbers, addresses, everything up to date on your application. If we look at an application and we type in your phone number, we Google your stuff, and other addresses pop up, I'm going to have to make a call, and it stops everything. So that's the easiest thing that you guys can do, is just make sure online looks and matches everything.
And that same piece of advice is valuable every time. So what about you, Janelle?
Yeah, I have 2 tips. Be honest and upfront with your banker. Let us know the whole story. If you withhold something and we find out about it, it really impacts your credibility, and it really creates doubt in our minds and in the underwriter's mind. I mean, if you had a bankruptcy, 10 years ago, let me know. That way I can get in front of this, I can get in front of it, I can mitigate it with the underwriter, we can understand it. But if you say you don't have a bankruptcy and then we pull credit and we see there's a bankruptcy, we start wondering what else there is that you haven't told us. So just be really open and honest with us and let us know exactly what's going on and anything we should know about.
Fantastic. And what about you, Gabe?
An advice I always give small business owners or clients or prospects is prepare yourself today for what you want to need in the future. Talk to your accountant. The biggest problem not biggest problem, but a problem that I see sometimes is people avoid to show profits or make profits in order to avoid taxes. But then when it comes to getting a loan, then they don't have the financials to get that loan. So, whatever your plans are in the future as a business owner, talk to your accountant and find the best way to prepare yourself to, if you're thinking of getting a loan or a line in the future. Don't wait until the end saying, oh, you know what? I should have not, the taxes or whatever, the way they business owners manage their taxes, just be prepared.
Fantastic. What about you, Andrew?
Yeah, my advice continues to be, when you're looking for funding, you may want to work with the SBDC and work with one of their finance people. Every one of the deals I've worked on this year, the financials have been wrong. Simple as that. Let's just say not perfect, sometimes way off. And the business owner knows how to drive business, knows how to grow the business, understands their business. But when they don't understand their financials, that's not a good thing, because that's how they're going to take control of growth. So with me, since I'm not a bank and we're a private funder, I can give you a lot of advice, and I will. You can count on it, because I want you to get strong. And every client I bring in does move on from me to usually traditional bank financing or the next level. So what I do is help them prepare for that. So whether, when I do my underwriting, I can make the corrections manually, and where a lot of institutions can't, but I can, and show them what they need to do. And if they're paying their bookkeepers, their accountants, money for wrong financials, I'm going to point that out as well. Because if you're going to spend your money on somebody, you want to spend your money on somebody who knows what they're doing. And so we're going to help you on that end, free of charge, right up front when we start working together. We'll help you get stronger. But the SBDC, if you go there first, they're going to find it even before I do. And then when you come to me, it's already all done. And it just makes it that much easier. I don't have to do that much of a dance. And the last thought to let you know, in my business model, probably compared to all the other lenders here, I usually can get you signed and funded in 7 working days. Usually the fastest guy out there. So if you're looking for funding or want advice, give me a call and I'll help you out.
Awesome. Thanks, Andrew. And we didn't pay him to say that. You can see he's a sponsor, so that doesn't count. So Miriam.
Yeah, so I would definitely say that my biggest piece of advice is a little bit like Andrew's. One, you want to be 100% honest when you're talking to, whichever lender that you are talking to. As Janelle stated, we will find out. So it talks about your character. And also there's really no need for it because as you can see on this panel, there are just so many different lenders and we all partner together. I mean, this morning I just sent a few lead opportunity fund and we're just always working together to help our clients out. So, be honest. If I can't help you, I probably know somebody that can. I've been doing this for 16 years and been in the finance industry. And then another thing I would say is, other than being honest, be prepared. So I think that any lender, when they ask you almost the same initial questions, they don't want to, I know I don't want to pull anybody's credit if it's far off of what we will allow, just because I don't want to do that to you and lower your score or have you apply and do all of that work if it's just not a good fit. So when you have that initial conversation, definitely know what your loan amount is that you're looking for. So be a little prepared with that. You know, I don't want you to, you know, for me to ask you, okay, so how much do you need for this working capital to hire your employees? And for you to come back with an answer like, well, how much you got? What's your max? That just tells me you don't really know how much money you need. So definitely kind of think about how much money you need, you know, and also know your credit score. So there's a ton of different places where you can get that online. Like for example, Credit Karma, you can go there and it's free. You just get an idea of what your credit score is so that when you do come to one of us, you know, we don't waste your time. You don't waste our time. And, you know, if you're not a good fit for me, I could probably find that out in the first 5 minutes. And honestly, I probably will send you to either one of these awesome people on this panelist, SBDC, if that's where you're at. And, you know, we're all network and work together. So yeah, definitely be prepared and be honest. That's my advice.
Fantastic. Pete Tirado.
Like everyone said, all the good stuff. No, you know, I have a few things. I would probably say, you know, especially if you're a new business, you know, don't make impulse decisions. You know, understand where you're going with your business. Ensure you have a team of people that are going to help you get there. You know, it's kind of like Miriam said, you don't want to come to the bank and just be like, yeah, I need working capital. Great. How much can you give me? Like, that's not going to work. Like, there has to be a clear vision. Like, we want to understand what the borrowing cause is, and we need to be able to justify that to an underwriter. So then, yeah, like Janelle said, don't, you know, be honest. We're going to find out. You know, if you can leave something out, but once we pull credit, you know, it's a lot harder to backpedal at that point. So make our job easier. Let us know any issue up front, because at that point we can try to put together a plan to mitigate that and overcome those issues. I would also say don't procrastinate. One of the worst things when, you know, someone needs a loan, you know, they say, hey, you know, I need to get a loan, you know, and I need it in a month. We start the process a month before, but I don't get the paperwork until the week of. You know, it's like, don't procrastinate. You know, if you got to get things going, you know, when your lender provides you a checklist, you know, do your best to get that information to us as quickly as possible. So then if we catch something, it gives us enough time to be able to work on that, massage the loan and overcome what we need to overcome. But the last thing I would say is go to your local, you know, financer, whether it's your banker, you know, whoever you're working with, you know, sit down with them and just have the conversation, you know, get pointers. This is where I'm at. What can I work on? They'll be happy to go over and all that information with you and at least say like, cool, like I can give you a realistic idea. We need to work on this and this and this. Let's get a plan to fix that or get you in this position so we can get you in the best place to get financing. So have a conversation with your banker, and those are my points.
Fantastic. And Larissa.
Yes, so I have two as well. The first one is I am a business development officer, but I do a lot of loan processing, and I've seen a lot of negatives in tax returns, guys. If you want to grow your business or are seeking into getting a loan, I suggest you talk to your tax preparer, like Andrew said, and you know, get that plan together. Make sure that you guys are reporting, your numbers, because with the negatives, we're not able to lend right now. And also my second tip will be to please interview all your lenders. Make sure that you interview them before applying, because running your credit multiple times will drop your points. So interview. And of course, go to your nearest SBDC, because they're my best friends, and no, they're not paying me to say this, but I'm always sending clients out there. So you guys are on the right path.
Fantastic. So again, appreciate everybody for getting on this morning. Our panelists, as you can see, a bunch of passionate people that, you know, for you small business owners out there, you know, we're here to help you. We care about your situation and want to help you get through everything. So everybody have a fantastic weekend, and thanks to everybody.
Thank you. Have a nice
Thank
day.
you.
Thank you.
Let's go speak Aztecs tonight.